Let's explore two different scenarios for the long-term prospects of your life. One in which you live like most others, and another in which you craft and live your ideal life. Let's begin with the aspects of life common to both paths you can take. The average person in the West can expect to live approximately 80 years. This is an optimistic estimate, and that figure drops significantly for countries that aren't first world, down to just over 50 in some parts of Africa. Let's assume you sleep 8 hours per night, which is equivalent to 1/3 of your life spent mostly unconscious. This leaves you with 53 years. Next, let's assume you're a relatively fortunate individual, in which you can expect to make it all the way through the education system, which starts at the age of 3 and ends at the age of about 21. The time spent learning adds up to approximately 6 years of your life lost. This leaves you with 47 years. After that, you have all the mundane chores of everyday life, which account for another over 2 hours of every day of your life. This leaves you with 39 years. If you have kids, this removes another 2 years with all the work necessary at raising them, which leaves you with 37 years. Once you pass the age of retirement, you can expect to have a significant health impairment during that time, which leaves you unable to do most of the things you used to do. This removes approximately another 15 years from your life. You now have 22 years of free time remaining. If you're already an adult, this figure is likely to be in the teens depending on your age, possibly even in the single digits if you're over 50. Now let's evaluate a typical person's life in the West in our current age. Assuming you have all these 22 free years of your life left, you can expect to work for at least 40 years at 8 hours per day, which removes another 13 years, leaving you with 9 years left. It's not over yet. The average young person spends about 5 hours on their phone per day, and the average older person spends about 2.5 hours watching TV. Let's be generous and average this to 3 hours per day on devices. This leaves you with -1 years of free time to spend. Good luck using that. What is this life likely to look like in practice? For the average person, it is likely that they will be largely unfulfilled because they are always underdeveloped in all domains of life, overworked and overstressed by their career and unhealthy lifestyle. Their time will be largely spent absent-mindedly, and so their time will pass more quickly without them knowing. They will grow more bitter and miserable over time because of their squandered potential and shallow experience of life. They will cling to life as death drags them into the abyss, knowing they largely wasted their time and never truly lived, with regrets of what they missed flashing through their visual field as they go unconscious. Conversely, let's explore the route in which you make the most of your life by proactively pursuing a more constructive path. Of the 22 years of free time you have to play with, you could spend this time forging a career or business that allows you to pay the bills, but that you're also intrinsically motivated by. You start the business and you aren't sure how it'll do, but you stick with it because you don't like to live with regrets. You have a couple of failures for a year or so, but you keep trying new ideas with your free time until you come across one that you're sure about. This business takes about another year of hard work to get off the ground, leaving you with 20 years left. The maintenance of this business takes another 8 hours out of each day, but you work so hard at it for 15 years, you have earned so much money you can retire at a young age of 35. You are now left with 15 years of free time to do whatever you want. If you invest in a healthy lifestyle and have at least a few friends, you can push this back up to 20 whole years of free time to play with. With the money you make from the business, you help your elderly parents by buying them a beautiful home and someone to take care of them in old age, and you get yourself everything you need and you're able to settle down with a beautiful family, all before the age of 40. You'll still have the majority of your life ahead of you, and you feel that each day is a blessing because of your healthy habits you have established, all the good you have done in the world, and your beautiful surroundings. How would this life feel like in practice? Well, this life is potentially limitless depending on how you use this large amount of free time you have. It is likely to be profoundly fulfilling and full of beautiful ups and downs. You have the freedom to pursue the things that have always interested you, and you are likely to meet extraordinary people that connect with you on a deep level along the way. You will die at a ripe old age, welcoming death, and having no regrets to worry as you go. Knowing these two hypothetical routes through life, the question I have for you is this: what are the choices and paths you will take with the time you have left in order for your life to look more like the second scenario over the first? I can assure you that life can get incredibly hellish, but life can also be absolutely heavenly. The more choices you make in the direction of the right path, the happier those around you will be, and the more you will contribute to society. Conversely, the more choices you take to the left, the more miserable you will make others, and the more you will ultimately take from society. Assuming you're an average individual in the West, you have a large degree of control in which life you will choose. Choose wisely.